Hello, thank you for watching Razzle. This is Ryan here. Yes, I'm still alive. I know it's been a few months since I made my last video. I believe it was a review of Ride Along 2, but here I am. I'm back, and I'm ready to rock and roll with these reviews. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Key and Peele's first feature-length film, Keanu. Now, I'm just going to say right off the bat, if you're a fan of Key and Peele, like the TV series, I was a huge fan of Key and Peele. I loved their show. Honestly, it was one of the funniest shows that I ever watched. It's very quotable. It's just a very good show. If you liked that show, you'll like the movie. I think you'll like the movie. It's basically, this movie is almost like it's just a very long, prolonged sketch from their show. That's basically a lot of what this show is. It really sticks to that kind of tone, that like the very just insanely ridiculous, stupid tone. And that's not an insult. It's just a very crazy movie. It's not bad. It's not a bad movie. It's not great. It's not bad. The main problem with the movie really is going to depend, like for you as an audience member, it's going to depend on how you react. Like it's a very one-trick pony film. It depends very heavily, and this is going to sound like an insult, but very heavily on the Kevin Hart treatment. What I mean is, it's two black men who don't exactly fit that black stereotype, who are now trying to fit in to that black stereotype. The movie very, very heavily relies on that stereotype, and not that stereotype. It very heavily relies on that joke. And it drags you through that the whole way. And if you don't really think that's very funny, or then the movie's not going to work for you at all. But if you think that works for a little, enough, and they handle it well. I'm not like I compared it to Kevin Hart, and my feelings about Kevin Hart and his films. But I think they handle it as well as you can. And I think a lot of the jokes work, but after a while it starts to get fatiguing. As I'm starting to see, it's like, okay, I get it. Like you guys, I get it. You guys don't fit that stereotype, and now you're pretending. Like, I get what you're trying to do, but it's not, it just gets kind of old after a little while. There's some jokes, that they drag on for far too long. There's like, it's hard to explain exactly without spoiling some of the, I don't really want to spoil anything, but like, there's some jokes that like, right away, it's like, oh, that's funny. And then they kind of just drag it through the dirt. And it's like, okay, this scene is going on far too long. I get it. It was kind of funny at first, but now and they do that a lot in the movie. But then there's other jokes that like really work. Like that had me laughing a lot. And it's a lot of times it's just from just the pure, not just expression, but just the ability of Key and Peele being able just to emote, even through their facial expression. Like, it's hard to explain exactly. There's a cameo in this movie that doesn't really work for me. The cameo itself, I think, is odd. I don't think it needed to be a cameo. It could have just been a character instead of, it was a cameo of it was a cameo, the cameo was playing a non-realistic version of themselves, but it was very odd. It fell out of place, and it just didn't really work. I think it was supposed to be like a surprise when this person showed up, and it was like, okay. At first, I was like, is that that person playing a character? And then like they kind of showed you like, oh no, that's this actual person. And I was like, okay. It was very odd. It didn't really work for me. But the scene did work for me. The scene worked. It just, the fact that it was a cameo was like odd. It was just like, it didn't feel like it fit. But as a scene, I thought it was a good scene, and honestly, this scene had, in my opinion, the funniest moment in the film. It had there was something that was said, an awkward situation that was said that I had me rolling. Like, it was really, really, really funny. Again, though, this scene, like many others, just kind of dragged on, and there was a lot of scenes in this movie that felt far too long. So the pacing of this movie was not fantastic. Overall, I had a really good time. Is it a movie that I'm going to be revisiting? Probably not. I'll probably never see this movie ever again. But, to be honest, I went with a bunch of friends. We had a good time. It was pretty funny. There were some moments that really made me laugh. So I had a good enough time, and I think you would too. Especially if you're a fan of the Key and Peele show, then I think you'll enjoy this movie enough. So I think that's where I stand. So for me, Keanu, I give a 6 out of 10. Not a bad movie, not a bad time. I enjoyed myself. If you're the kind of person that doesn't go to the movies a lot, just hold off for Captain America next week. And then like Redbox this movie. That's what I would do if I were you. It's a pretty good time, but you know, it's not the greatest film I've ever seen. Thank you guys very much for watching Razzle. This is Ryan here. I'm back. I'm going to be doing some more movie reviews over... now I'm going to be back into it. I'm not going to be gone for 3 months again. I promise you. I promise I'll be doing more movie reviews, especially now that we're jumping into the summer and the semester's over. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great one.